Welcome, I'm Georgia Comensoli and today I'm here with Allan Briggs, Managing Director of Crisis Shield, and we're going to discuss how to respond in the event of an executive scandal. Hi Allan.
Hi Georgia.
So first off, we're just going to start off with how should you respond and what is your first port of call when the scandal has broken at the start of the day?
Well Georgia, the first thing we always say, establish the facts. Now quite often when these things break, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of assumptions are made, and we always say establish the facts before you start proceeding. And not only that, but try and get 3 forms of validation or triangulate. So 3 different sources to just give you confidence that you actually have got the facts in hand, that isn't some speculation or allegations that can't be proven.
And what if you're executives who work alongside that executive? How should you respond, especially in the event that the media approaches you and you may not know all the facts at that time?
Well Georgia, this happens quite a bit with a number of our clients where they're approached by the media or an external, maybe a stakeholder, investors, wanting to know what's going on. And as in the early days, usually you don't have a lot of facts. We say that you should be responding saying there's been some allegations made, that we are certainly taking them seriously, we're investigating them, and it may be through a regulator, it might be through police, maybe a HR department, and that you will get back to the people with a response shortly, and if they can maybe monitor your social media feeds, your website, or maybe you'll even run a conference later on to give a response.
In terms of when the scandal affects that executive's family, what should the company be doing to look after the family members?
Yeah, that's a really good point, Georgia, because quite often people think just if someone's done something wrong, we'll throw them under the bus, and we certainly don't support that. Even if someone's done something wrong in a business, you should be still supporting them, and particularly their family. Their family may be totally unaware of what's happened, and they need the support just as much as the person who's committed the offence.
And I'm sure there are co-workers who may not agree with what that executive has done. How do you think they should react and how should they go about that scandal when they don't think that what that person has done is right?
Yeah, absolutely. They should be, first of all, having trust in the executive to do a thorough investigation, and once again waiting to see what the facts are, because no doubt there'll be some speculation or things that could be incorrect. So wait till the facts come out. Trust in the senior executive of the organisation, whether it's the executive team, maybe the board, will do a thorough investigation and come back. I do say though, if you believe you've got some further evidence, or you believe you've got something you can add to that, that's certainly going possibly through your HR department.
Of course, it'll taint any company's reputation even slightly. What should that company and that board of executives, what should they be doing to help that?
Yeah, well you're absolutely right, because no matter what, there'll be some damage to reputation. It's very important that you actually communicate to everybody internally and externally what you're doing about it, acknowledging it, that you're taking decisive action, and that you're changing the culture or maybe policies and processes within the organisation so that won't happen again.
When should a restructure come in?
Look, restructure is a fairly extreme situation, and that would imply there's been a lot of corruption or co-offenders within the business. So if that's required, then it is, but that's a significant move. What we're suggesting is you look at who are the perpetrators or who was involved, due diligence and then the right actions taken against them, but then looking at your policy, procedures and your culture to make sure this won't happen again.
So are there any examples around at the moment where you thought that executive has fallen on their feet after a large scandal?
Probably one that sticks in my mind is Mark McGuinness, the CEO of David Jones, and from what we've informed, he had some inappropriate relationship and behaviour towards a female staff member. Was stood down and certainly come back and working quite well and very successful now. So I think sometimes people learn from their errors of their ways and come back and have a great career.
And these scandals are everywhere, whether they be with sportsmen or large businesses. They're rife throughout Australian media. Why do you think there's such an interest for different scandals, especially with executives?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. Firstly, senior position, one would expect that they will do the right thing and that they're put in a position of trust. So, why did that happen in the first place? Secondly, that quite often there's an element of intrigue, if you like, and what they did to cover up their tracks or how they went about committing the crime or the inappropriate behaviour. So it garners a lot of attention from the public, and we love a little bit of a story, and especially it's got to be the colour and movement around it.
And when that scandal keeps going and it is a sex scandal and people remember it and they start making jokes about it and it becomes history, how should the company be reacting 3 months on or say a year on?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Is that, first of all, you want to track the case as it goes through, whether it's going through courts or through hearings, and making sure you're communicating what's happening, and then coming back and certainly within the business, making sure you review and learn, and whether that is a change in your policy, procedure, in your culture, so that people understand that we're not going to let this behaviour happen again or these events happen again because we've changed our business. We're not going back to normal, we're actually going back to a new normal.